check this out. Little information of a Knoxville legend. Her name is Ruth Valeria Cobb Bryce, and she was born in Knoxville. Ruth Cobb Bryce graduated from Swift Memorial College, a historically black college in Rogersville, and soon started teaching schools in Rogersville, Greenville, and LaFollette, all cities in Tennessee. During the summer months, she studied at the Tennessee Agricultural and Industrial State University in Nashville. The Knox-Cobb School District hired Bryce in 1928 to teach art at high school elementary school, then a public school for black children. She later taught at Manor Elementary in Mechanicsville. So she was really into the artwork. So her interest in arts blossomed more fully while studying at Knoxville College during the mid-1930s. And mind you, by this time she was already like in her early to mid-30s, so she was definitely still active as far as pursuing her education. So again, this is Ruth Valeria Cobb Bryce. I'm gonna do some more research on her because this is the first time I've ever heard of her. Shout out to Miss Bryce. I'm over here by the highway, y'all. So this is actually I-40 right here. This is the overpass of I-40. See this basketball right here? I'm over here now at the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. So the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame is located here in Knoxville. Remember a couple of weeks ago I went to Kansas City. That's where the Men's College Basketball Hall of Fame is located. But I'm over here at the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame right here in Knoxville. And it's fitting that it's right here in Knoxville because the Tennessee Vols women's basketball team has long been a staple in college basketball as it pertains to women's basketball. They've been a long time powerhouse, you know, them in South Carolina and LSU. But Tennessee like volunteers, like Knoxville is like Titletown USA when it comes to national titles and everything like that in women's college ball. Here's the front of the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame, which is closed right now, by the way, it looks like. But they'll probably open. I'm not sure what time they open, but they're closed right now. Check this out. It's like a little power fountain that they have right outside of here. And this Hall of Fame museum was opened in 1999, so it's 25 years old. They celebrated 25th year anniversary this year. So this is the front of it. So yes, the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. So again, it's dedicated to a lot of the college hoops that take place, specifically in well, in college basketball altogether, but specifically when it comes to the Tennessee Volunteers, who was coached by the late great Pat Summitt. Now, she was part of the first class that was inducted into the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. So one of these days, I'm gonna have to come back to Knoxville and do a vlog in the Women's College Basketball Hall of Fame Museum. That had to be a separate vlog all in itself. So be on the lookout for that in the future. I'm finna go over here. I'm over here at the James White Fort, 1786, Knoxville's first home. So I'm gonna go check them out real quick. So this settlement was established essentially around the same time that Knoxville itself as a city was established. This is called James White Fort, and as you can tell, it's that old sculpture from the 18th century. And James White, as you can see right here, he's considered to be the founder of Knoxville. Erected the city's first dwelling in this block in 1786. White's Fort was later constructed surrounding the house. Knoxville was named for Henry Knox, Washington's Secretary of War, and was chosen by Governor William Blount as capital of the territory of the U.S. south of the Ohio River in 1790 to 91. So yes, Knoxville was at one point the capital of Tennessee. And as you can see right over here, so it looks like this it looked like it was built out of a bunch of logs. You know, those were common during that time, especially in the 18th century. A bunch of log cabins. So essentially this is also a museum. So you can come check this out if you're into history like myself, a history buff. Come check out the James White Fort. Check that out. That's nice right over there. Looks like some mirrors, like some sculptures that are like made out of glass, but they have reflections like mirrors, so that's pretty cool. And I'm over here now at the Volunteer Landing. So the Volunteer Landing is actually a public park and river walk along the Tennessee River, which is located below the Gay Street Bridge. So we're going to see in just a momentarily volunteer landing. And essentially right now I'm walking down a hill. Some nice murals. Looks like some and it signifies you being alongside the riverfront, because you see you have the turtle, you have the fish, you know, you have a bunch of the aquatic animals, and you can see like the little bubbles and things like that. So that's pretty much symbolic of what we're about to experience over here at the Tennessee River, as far as the river walk and everything like that. It says that I'm heading towards the marina. Knoxville Adventure Collective paddle trips and bike rentals. So we definitely must be close by, because when they started talking about bike rentals and paddle trips, that means, you know, we're close to a riverfront or a riverfront park and a trail. Matter of fact, let me go up these stairs. I think that's going to lead us to the riverfront. Check this out. Check out this nice waterfall right over here. This is what makes you appreciate nature even more, when you have sights like that. That was pretty much a stairway to nowhere, basically. I thought we would be over there by the riverfront, but once I get over there, I'm gonna resume. So until then, hey. Over here at the Volunteer Landing Marina. So it looks like I'm making progress towards getting by the riverfront. Because when you see marina, you know you're by the water. So this is my first time coming to the Tennessee River in the city of Knoxville. And this actually intersects a railroad crossing, which is interesting. The railroad being so close to the river, pretty interesting. And it's a Ruth Chris Steakhouse located right over here by the riverfront. You can see the railroad track right here. And there goes that scenic Tennessee River. And there goes another waterfall right over here. So that's pretty cool that the railroad tracks, the trains run over the river. That's pretty cool. Now you got the waterfall over there. Yes. Yeah, good morning, sir. Check this out right here. In the infant town of Knox, the houses are irregular and interspersed. It was county court day when I came. Saw men jesting, singing, swearing, women yelling from doorways. Whiskey and peach brandy were cheap. The town was confused with a promiscuous throng of every denomination. Blanket-clad Indians, leather-shirted, woodsmen, gamblers, hard-eyed, and vigilantes. So in short, this was just an excerpt from traveler James Weir in 1798. This is just his observation of Knoxville, especially over here alongside the riverfront. Okay. And this is the site of the signing of the Treaty of the Holston in 1791. This is a sculpture that pretty much commemorates that. So the Cherokee Nation Indians were the original inhabitants of this land. And on July 2nd, 1791, the U.S. and the Cherokee Nation signed the Treaty of Holston near this site. Now, this treaty was negotiated by Governor William Blount of the Southwest Territory on behalf of President George Washington. Among the terms of the treaty, the Cherokee ceded more land than the U.S. government agreed to furnish them with farming implements, spinning wheels, and looms. Some 1,200 Cherokee attended. The treaty was signed by 41 Cherokee chiefs, the witnesses representing the United States from Georgia, North Carolina, Virginia, and the Kentucky Territory. And this marker was placed by Andrew Bogle Chapter, National Society Daughters of the American Revolutions in 2014. So it's a dope sculpture right here. It's really nicely carved out, and as you can see the Cherokee Indians right here. Pretty cool, pretty cool. And this is the marina, of course. Here's a little dock right here. Oh, I didn't know Regal was headquartered, you know, the Regal Cinemas, Regal movie theater company. I did not, or entertainment company rather. I did not know that it was headquartered in Knoxville. Like, I see the building, the corporate building right across the river. That's why I just mentioned that. But yeah, it's right across from the Tennessee River, and right where I'm standing. And this is the orange, they got orange carpet right here, which I would presume would be because of the Tennessee Volunteers. And yeah, you can see over there, there goes the the parking deck, or whatever you call it, the little enclosure, the shelter over where the vessels are parked at over there. There goes a Tennessee riverboat right here. Now, is this the Gay Street Bridge that they was talking about? I was reading about. This might be the Gay Street Bridge that you see over this water. I don't think we're too far away from the University of Tennessee campus either. So I plan on getting some footage over there after a while. They got a couple of benches you can sit at right here and just enjoy the flow of the river. But this concludes the Knoxville landing portion of the video, as well as downtown Knoxville. So I'm going to continue where I left off, and with the University of Tennessee campus footage. So stay tuned. But wait, there's more. As the Taste of Calhoun's of Tennessee right here on the riverfront. And this sculpture, or this structure right here rather, is the building that's right here in front of the volunteer landing. So there's benches over here you can sit at and chill. And also this functions kind of like as a jogging trail. Well, it does function as a jogging trail. It's a nice waterfront park though, right here in Knoxville along the Tennessee River. Well, I made it to the campus of University of Tennessee of Knoxville, and right here is the Sienna Engineering Complex. So I'm over here by the engineering building, not too far from the football stadium. And the University of Tennessee was established in 1794, and this was 2 years prior to the state of Tennessee itself becoming part of the Union in 1796. So basically, the University of Tennessee was established before Tennessee even became a state. But it's a really big campus, as you would imagine, for a school of its magnitude, its notoriety. Now, before it was the University of Tennessee, it was established as Blount College. It was named for the governor of Tennessee at the time, William Blount. But it was eventually renamed in 1807 to East Tennessee College. And eventually the college was elevated to university status in 1840 and was renamed East Tennessee University. So at that time, it was a religious, non-affiliated institute of higher learning. So it wasn't until 1879, towards the end of the 19th century, when it finally became the University of Tennessee. Now, as far as the University of Tennessee's role in the civil rights era, you know, only white students were accepted until 1952, when the first 2 black students were allowed to enroll in a graduate program. Even after educational segregation was ruled unconstitutional by the Supreme Court with the Brown versus Board of Education ruling, the university resisted desegregation. So that was common. Even after the Supreme Court ruling, a lot of these schools still resisted the idea of desegregating their schools and admitting black students. So it wasn't until 1961, 7 years after the Supreme Court ruling in Brown versus Board of Education, where black students could enroll in the University of Tennessee. So this was 1961. So we're talking 63 years ago. Now today, University of Tennessee is a very prestigious university. A lot of really cool undergraduate and graduate programs. As we just left the engineering center, so they have a good engineering program here. So the campus is over 2,000 acres big, so of course that's really huge. It looks like right there they have a greenhouse, so they have an agricultural program here. check this out right here. This is a sculpture of Smokey. P.R. Brooks' Blue Smokey first appeared at the Duke game in 1953 and served through the 1954 season. So this is basically, I guess, some type of dog right here. Has the Tennessee Volunteers orange on, checkered flag. So they also have a transit system over here. They have some buses that ride through here. And what they have blocked off over here, they have sculptures of four athletes who played, or four football players who performed for the University of Tennessee. And these are all black players, by the way, that are statues right over here. You have T. Martin, who was the quarterback. You have Lester McLean, who was a wingback at the time, but in 1967 became the program's first black player. And the other one over there is another quarterback. His name is Condridge Holloway. I can't really get a good look at them because this section is blocked off. So I'm just gonna keep it moving. But this is the Neyland Stadium, which is home of the Tennessee Volunteers football program. Now, Neyland Stadium was constructed in 1921, and at that time it was called the Shields-Watkins Field. So Neyland Stadium is the 6th largest stadium in the United States in form as far as seating capacity, and it's the 8th largest stadium in the world and 2nd largest stadium in the SEC. And the stadium is named for Robert Neyland, who served 3 stints as head football coach at the University of Tennessee between 1926 and 1952. There goes those shuttle buses right there. The Neyland Express. So I know those are busy on game day. And check this out right here. This roadway right here is called Peyton Manning Pass. So of course this was named after the legendary and quarterback and Tennessee Vols alum Peyton Manning. He was an All-American here at Tennessee.
Where's the call?
So it's at the corner of Peyton Manning Way, or Peyton Manning Pass, and Philip Fulmer Way. Now Philip Fulmer was a longtime player and head coach for the University of Tennessee. There he goes right there, the Minister of Defense, Mr. Reggie White, who went on ahead, the late great Reggie White, Chattanooga, Tennessee native, who went on and had a long career with the Green Bay Packers and Philadelphia Eagles in the NFL. And they actually have an official team shop right over here as well. Overall, pretty cool stadium, this Neyland Stadium. But it looks like some work is being done right here. Nothing more than the routine maintenance though. Haslam College of Business, Claxton Complex. This sculpture is called Europa. It's a really nice sculpture. It's called Europa by Carl Niles, sculpted in 1968. Really nice, really cool sculpture, especially sitting around this water, this fountain right here. Some construction over here. Oh, this is dope right here. Now this is called Vic Davis Plaza. This nice sculpture right here. It's called the Volunteer Creed. One that beareth the torch, shadoweth oneself to give light to others. Plaque presented by the 1995 Senior Gift Challenge. And again, it's called Vic Davis Plaza. So I guess this is named after one of the volunteers. It was named after Victor Davis, 1920 UT alumnus, served by the university as YMCA secretary, 1925 to 1936. Born 1894, passed away in 1948. This is Vic Davis Plaza. So basically what you're going to see, it looks like a park area. As you see, a bunch of tents are up right now, so I don't know if they're getting ready. I don't know if they're preparing for an event or if these tents are always up here like this. But This is Vic Davis Plaza. There goes that Smokey again. Gotta go over here, go check this out.
Yeah, he had me doing all floors. And that's hard. That was hard on me.
I mean, seriously, like, I respect you for wanting to.
Okay, so they actually have a museum on campus called the Frank McClung Museum of Natural History and Culture. And here's the McClung Museum right over here. And outside, they have a little garden out here. But they also have a sculpture of this duck-billed dinosaur, which was around during the late Cretaceous period, around 65 million years ago. Weighs anywhere between 7,000 to 8,000 pounds. Bronze cast of skeleton found in South Dakota. So the Knox County Haslam Family Foundation, Charlie and Maul Anderson Family Foundation is who we should give a special thanks to for making this sculpture possible. It's really nice sculpture though. So yeah, that's pretty cool that they have a museum of science and natural history and culture museum right here on campus. And they also have a student services building over here. There's another view of the Volunteer Stadium right here, or the Neyland Stadium, football stadium for the Tennessee Volunteers over there. Right here is the Thompson-Boling Arena at Food City Center, right here on the campus of University of Tennessee. And this is actually the home of the Tennessee men's and women's basketball team. So since 2008, it's also been the home of the women's volleyball team. So the Lady Vols women's basketball team and the men's basketball team play here. And this multi-purpose arena was built or opened up in 1987. You can see right here. And it's sponsored by Food City Center. It has naming rights. So this stadium has a lot of history as it pertains to both men's and women's basketball. The women's basketball team have won 8 NCAA tournament titles. And dating back to 1987, the same year that this arena opened up. And they've had an array of Final Four appearances, as well as NCAA tournament runner-ups and Sweet 16 and Elite 8 in overall tournament appearances. So, of course, Pat Summitt is the legendary head coach at the Tennessee Volunteers basketball Lady Vols team. So there you have it. So you have a little sky bridge over here too, that pedestrian bridge that connects over to the parking lot, as well as Neyland Stadium. So these two athletic venues are connected to each other, and you also have a nice view of downtown Knoxville from here. And by the way, you also have the river. So University of Tennessee, located alongside the Tennessee River on a 2,000-acre campus. And with that in mind, this concludes the University Tennessee portion of the video, as well as the overall Knoxville vlog. I'd like to thank you guys for rocking with me if you made it this far. And if you liked the video, hit that like button. In addition, if you are new to the channel and you made it this far, please make sure you hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell. I'm closing in on 100 subscribers, so look, I've been grinding, and I guess the grinding is paying off. So channel consistently growing. With that in mind, people, again, thanks for tuning in, and see you guys on the next one. Peace and have a great day.